It's time for a DIY project around the house. Let's get caulking. Today I'm going to be renewing some caulking, some sealant in the shower here. Over time it has started to crack and deteriorate. The sealant that they used originally, I've got this gray colored tile, and the sealant that they used originally was more of a match to the grout than the tile itself, which kind of had some beige tones to it. And I tested out a product that Sashco makes called Clean Seal in almond. They make it in almond and they make it in white. The almond, although a little bit lighter than the original color I used, I think is going to blend in just fine because we really don't like the stark white against this gray tile. And so I'm going to go ahead and get this started today. I'm going to show you how to do it. So check it out. The first thing I have to do is remove the old stuff. And if you don't have a caulk removing tool for this, you really just got to go get one. They're super cheap. They're like $5. And it really does a great job of getting in those corners and removing that caulking. Now there's still sometimes some leftover stuff, so I'll grab a razor blade and kind of scrape the rest of that out and get a nice clean joint. But the best way to start putting caulking down is to remove anything that was there previously. This is a tedious process, but I promise you, if you put in the work here, it's going to make for a much better product at the end of this project. And once you feel like you've got it all cleaned off, and I mean as cleaned off as you can possibly be, you've made a big mess, and so you need to clean all that up. I have a cordless Ryobi shop vac. I love this thing. I think I got it for Father's Day like 2 years ago. Runs off the same batteries as all my other stuff, and so I just kind of sweep all the scrap and everything into the tub. By the way, pro tip here, make sure to close the tub drain before you start doing all this so you don't get all this gunk in your drain. You definitely don't want that. And so anyway, we're going to turn on this vacuum and just clean up my mess here so that I can have a nice clean surface before I start putting down some new sealant. Now that I've got everything about cleaned up, it's time to start putting some sealant on. I'm using Sashco Clean Seal today in almond. They only make it in the squeeze tube. Not my favorite, but that's what I got to work with. Put it on, spray it with some colorless window cleaner, and then tool it. Now, pro tip here, when you are tooling sealant, you are not trying to remove too much of the product. Okay, we want that sealant in the joint. You are simply running your finger over it to smooth it out and to make sure that it looks good and that it gets right in that joint like it's supposed to. But you're not trying to pull a whole lot of that product off whenever you're running your finger across it. What can I say? I tool sealant with my finger, but some people prefer to use a tool. The caulking removal tool has a side on the other side where you can actually tool sealant with it as well. While I was doing the shower, I noticed that the sealant around the bottom of the toilet wasn't looking that good, so I grabbed some Clean Seal in white, and we're going to go ahead and knock that out too while we're in here doing this job. You guys, don't be afraid to tackle DIY projects like this. All you can do is get better at it the more you do it. People clash a little bit over whether you should seal the bottom of the toilet. I do it because I like the way it looks. I seal the sides and the front, but I'll leave a little space open in the back, just in case if water were to leak, it's got a spot to come out. Then I put a Yo-Link moisture sensor back there just in case it were to leak, I'd know about it. And that job is done. I am satisfied with how it looks around the toilet. I'm satisfied with the shower. Look, this isn't perfect, but that's all right. Another DIY job done.